There's something surreal about these early 1920s and 30s cartoons. Characters transform, body parts become musical instruments, and inanimate objects come to life at a moment's notice. But beneath the absurd stream-of-consciousness comedy of these films lies a groundbreaking style and method that would come to define 1920s animation. Audiences loved it, and many of the biggest animation studios quickly followed the trend. Until the late 1930s, when the style suddenly disappeared. That's Felix the Cat, the world's greatest and most successful cartoon star of the 1920s silent film era, who rivaled the celebrity of Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. But before he looked like this, he used to look like this. Note his angular arms and legs in the original version to the rounder, smoother version in his 1924 redesign. This new version was designed by Bill Nolan, the animator behind that surreal 1920s animation style, marking the first time audiences saw this new, fluid, groundbreaking look. But while other animation studios would try to emulate this new style, they wouldn't see the same level of success. Felix the Cat made his debut in the film Feline Follies in 1919, and seemed to capture the public's attention and appreciation almost overnight. His popularity was undeniable. You could purchase over 200 different types of merchandise of him, including dolls, toys, books, clothing, and sporting goods. The Felix the Cat comic strip appeared in over 60 newspapers around the world, and he was frequently interviewed and shown alongside young starlets in photo spreads in magazines and newspapers. Queen Mary even brought a model of him home to King George, and the Prince of Wales made him the mascot for Britain's polo team. But for how popular he was, little was known to the public of how the Felix cartoons were made, or even who made them. The only name credited on the cartoons was the aggressive businessman and producer Pat Sullivan. He started Sullivan Studios, where Felix the Cat was created. But while Sullivan took all the credit for creating the films, and even went on a European tour to promote Felix, a crew of animators and inkers back home in New York were actually the ones doing the work. They were led by Otto Messmer, who gave Felix his unique personality and devised and directed each cartoon. And as demand for the Felix cartoons grew in the mid-1920s, Sullivan allowed Messmer to hire more animators. Among the first was 28-year-old animator Bill Nolan, who redesigned Felix and streamlined the production process by employing his unique, stretchy, elastic animation style that kind of reminds me of spaghetti. This style became known as rubber hose animation, and it looks just like it sounds. Here's one easy way to tell if a cartoon is animated in this style. Look at their arms and legs, and you probably won't find any joints. Instead of moving with natural, human-like articulation, these characters' limbs move like a smooth, fluid rubber hose. This new style, besides being easier and faster to draw, fit the wacky story sensibilities of the 1920s perfectly. Because before the grounded, character-driven stories we've come to expect from animation today, cartoons of the 20s only aimed at accomplishing one thing: making their audience laugh. Like in this Looney Tunes cartoon, Congo Jazz. Or in this Betty Boop cartoon, May Party. And even Japanese director Ikuo Oishi tried his hand at the rubber hose style too. The rubber hose style was so widespread that by the mid-1930s, everyone from Fleischer Studios, Warner Brothers Pictures, Walter Lantz Productions, the Van Buren Corporation, Terrytoons, Iwerks Studio, and Walt Disney Studios, just to name a few, all had their own versions. But as animation evolved and technology improved, the style gradually faded away. And that's thanks in part to Walt Disney, who in 1937 released his first feature-length animated film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It was a major box office success and received near-unanimous acclaim from film critics. It even won an Academy Honorary Award for its, quote, significant screen innovation which has charmed millions and pioneered a great new entertainment field. But beyond the awards, it was Snow White's natural, lifelike animation that ultimately sealed the fate of the rubber hose style, with some viewers even forgetting that they were watching animated humans rather than real ones. This shift toward realism, along with the growing audience demand, ultimately led to its decline, with Walt Disney Studios leading the way and Fleischer Studios being one of the last to hold on until it too followed the new trend. But did the rubber hose style ever fully go away? Well, not really. You can see it in action in Disney's 2013 short Get a Horse, as well as their 2013 series of shorts Mickey Mouse, and their 2020 TV series The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse. You can also see it in Studio MDHR's 2017 game Cuphead, along with the 2022 TV series The Cuphead Show. But aside from these examples and a handful of other series that give a nod to rubber hose animation, the style is still fairly uncommon. And as animation technology continues to evolve and lean further into realism, it can be easy to overlook this early animation style's impact. But rubber hose animation laid the foundation for many of the animated shows and movies we have now. From its slapstick comedy, to its imaginative movement, to its exaggerated character designs, rubber hose pushed the boundaries of what animation could do, and helped shape it into the expressive medium we recognize today. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.